Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. Welcome to the Tisch WNET studio in the heart of Manhattan Lincoln Center. It's my honor, my pleasure to introduce Lionel, a news and legal analyst who is no stranger to the metropolitan area. How you doing?
I'm doing great, and I finally made it.
What do you mean you made it?
Adubato, you know, I feel like I know you. No, seriously, we're in the same biz, right?
That's right.
We travel the same circles.
Yes.
And I feel, because I've watched every single thing you've ever done, I've watched your... No, I'm not getting out of here. I'm telling you the truth. Take an encomium, a paean, a praise, a panegyric. I watch you,
Thank you.
And I'm honored, sir.
And you love public broadcasting.
Without a doubt.
Thank you. You've had a fascinating career. You really have, on so many levels. The radio side, the TV side. But you have a background, a legal background, right? Lawyer, trial lawyer. When did
Ex-prosecutor.
When did you know I'm going on the media side? When?
Merely by accident. I was in the state. I'm a native Floridian. Rare commodity. Second generation. And I, in the 80s, found talk radio. This is pre-Rush. And I thought, this is the most fantastic thing in the world. You can call somebody up, and this is when it was kind of in the nascent, not what talk radio was, post-Rush.
Right.
And I called up, I said, this is fantastic. And I had 3 rules, Steve, 3 rules. Number 1, be the first caller. Set the tone. Number 2, never talk about the subject that the host is talking about. And when at all possible, insult the family of the host. Make the guy angry for 3 hours, ruin the show, corral it, derail it, and then they'll talk about you for the next 3 hours.
This is as a caller.
As a caller. I said, this is, and then I would listen to people like, can you believe that guy? It was a very timid America, if you can believe that. So,
and you were Lionel.
Well, yeah. I picked the name I got from the movie Scarecrow with Al Pacino and Gene Hackman, and I just happened to pick this name because one day they said, they would ask, where are you from? Okay, let's go to Chelsea. Let's go to Weehawken. I said, what is this, a name? I'm not a city. So I just saw the movie. I said, Lionel. Call me Lionel. And I called them again, and they said, oh, you're Lionel. I said, who? I said, oh, yeah,
they remembered you.
Yeah. And the rest is history.
And then you bring you to New York, and you do WABC radio. You do WOR. You do, and you're on television. You're an analyst.
But what happened was very interesting because I was doing here in Florida, and they said, do you want to come and do a Sunday show on this local affiliate, WFLA? You want to do a Sunday show? Can you do this? Because we know who you are. You've been calling. Plus, the people listening know who you are. It's a built-in audience. Will you want to do this? I said, sure. I thought, money. I know on these weekend shows, they do barter and trade. I didn't want to pay a lot of money. So I took a law friend of mine. I said, wear a suit. We're going to be lawyers because they're going to make us pay. I don't want to pay a lot. I'll pay a little bit, but not a lot because everybody else, gardening shows. And so when we sat down, he said, let's talk about money. I said, it's a good idea. He said, what do you think is fair? I said, what do you think's fair? Brilliant negotiating on my part. He said, $100. I said, $100? He said, that's all we can pay you. Steve, I should go blind if I'm lying. I said, you're going to pay me?
You thought you had to pay them.
Yes.
People don't realize that barter is the gardening show very often.
Yes.
The gardener pays the radio station.
Yes.
They were going to pay Lionel.
Yes.
You're like, done.
I'm in. This was October of 1988.
Love it.
3 months later, they say, you want to do middays, 9 to noon. I said, I'm not paying $100. You understand that? Or you're going to pay. So anyway, and then this was January. And then 7 months later, I did afternoon drive. And then years later, a wonderful man by the name of Jim Arcara, who was the president of ABC Radio, the owned and operated charge of the radio unit, had a pied-à-terre, I guess, in the listening area. He said, how would you like to come to New York, WABC? I said, let me get this straight. I have this flourishing legal career representing the flotsam and jetsam of humanity. And those are the judges. I sit in court all day basically for no reason. I got to chase down a fee. You're asking me to leave this thriving business to go to the #1 media market in the world, or as far as I'm concerned, in New York? You damn right. And I left, and the rest is history. And that was 20 years ago.
Let me ask you this. Why do you call yourself a political atheist?
Because I do not believe in a left-right paradigm. I think I follow the Carol Quigley treatise from Tragedy and Hope. I said, this is a joke. It's 2 sides of the same coin. Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi. It doesn't matter. If you think today that Barack Obama for example. And I'm talking mostly, Steve, at the national,
Highest
international
level.
Not locally. Locally, yeah, there's differences. But if you think that Barack Obama is a liberal, or if you think that the next president is going to do anything different than what's going on now, not you, but the royal you, are out of your mind. It's an illusion, this left-right paradigm. I'm a conservative, I'm a liberal, I'm a paleoconservative, I'm a neoconservative.
Labels don't work.
They don't
They're
mean
not real.
anything.
Don't mean anything.
The script of this country is written out in 25-year increments. It's written. I don't care if you're the president, I'm the president. It doesn't matter.
What's the script say?
War, Africa, imperialism. This is horrible what my country is doing. We are involving ourselves in matters that have absolutely nothing to do with the security of this country. We're going after a host of, this is a third wave of imperialism. At first it was gold by the British. Then after the post-industrial world, it was petroleum. Basically where military units are basically the protectors of oil interests. And now in the third stage, we're going after new things. Granted, gold is fine and petroleum, but rare earth metals, lithium. Lithium powers everything. Afghanistan is the Saudi Arabia of lithium. And now, hydro-imperialism and water. Water is going to be the next casus belli, the next commodity of war. It's happening right now. In Libya, I don't want to go off too much of this, but there's a thing called the Nubian sandstone aquifer. This is the largest freshwater aquifer on the planet. Muammar Gaddafi had that. Dumped 25 billion into it. Not for long, Mo. It's ours.
Got to ask you this. You have, well, you call yourself a political atheist. You have strong political beliefs on so many levels. You don't call yourself a conservative. You don't call yourself a liberal.
Right.
But you have a strong following. How important is it for you to have a regular platform, A, and B, can you have a platform in the digital world right now? Talk about it.
Absolutely.
Go.
What I am right now, we're talking about this, is I am a product. I am Lionel. this is the product. I am terrestrial radio and satellite radio and conventional radio and TV and digital, and I podcast and I social media. I've got multi-layered platforms, multi-layered vertical marketing, you name it. Steve, this is a world today that is so immense. It is so labyrinthine. I don't want to get too fancy schmancy here, but it is a world that knows no parallel. And the problem, woe to the antediluvian, the archaic, who keep living in this 1980s paradigm, where they're talking about what station are you on? What are you
Does it not even matter anymore?
No.
What are we doing? We're on public broadcasting. That matters.
I'm not saying don't do this, but you are not just here, you're everywhere. See, in the old days, if I said, hey, I was on the Steve Adubato show, too bad I'm not in New York. You don't have to be in New York. You're everywhere. I'll send it to you. Here it is. This might be the launching pad,
right?
But this might be the heart, but the arteries and the vascular system and you
got to be everywhere.
And exactly.
You've got to be everywhere.
This is a huge world. This is a world that is so enormous. There's 311 million people in this country. Think about that. And if you ask people, young people in the street, what radio station do you listen to? If you use this 1980s mentality, what radio station? I told you the story. I went into a Radio Shack, but now it's something else. I asked for a radio. I have a better time finding a shack. Radio, satellite radio. No, a radio, a transistor with the thing. Gone.
Antennas. Listen, we've had your handle up the whole time, your Twitter handle, so people find you there and they find all your platforms. Lionel, I thank you for coming in and wish we had more time.
I thank you. I have finally done it.
Thank you, buddy.
I love you. Thanks,
Appreciate it.
my
Stay
friend.
right
Thank
there.
you.
This is one-on-one from the Tisch WNET studio. We still have a station. We do.
Yes.
Channel 13. Stay with us. We'll be right back right after this. Thanks, Lionel.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, Caldwell University, MagnaCare, TD Bank, the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, and by the law firm of Gibbons, P.C. Promotional support provided by The Record, North Jersey's trusted source, and NorthJersey.com, the New Jersey Business and Industry Association, and its monthly magazine, New Jersey Business. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.